Hello everybody, Brad the Guitologist here. In this video I wanted to talk a little bit about this article that I saw. A friend of mine who used to be an artist for Gibson, he won a contest, and Gibson gave him a guitar for winning the contest and all this stuff, and he basically was locked into being a Gibson artist there for a little while. But he shared this on Facebook, this ultimateguitar.com article, and I will link the article down in the description. I encourage you to go read the whole thing. But basically it's about Mastadon's Bill Kelliher discussing why he left Gibson as an artist. You can see from the headline there part of the reason, but he goes on to say, some of the stuff we already pretty much suspected, that Gibson's going downhill. They kept fucking up his guitars. He was asking for them to be a certain way, like tuned a certain way. Because, I mean, a Mastadon show is full of drop tunings. And in order to drop tune, you have to have higher gauge strings. And it has to be set up properly. The neck has to be set up properly for that low of a tension, or for the correct tension. Everything has to be done a certain way. He wanted his guitars non-chambered. They send him chambered guitars. And this actually kind of goes back to something that I heard about the Kentucky Headhunters guitar player, Greg Martin. When they did his signature guitar, they actually wired his pickups out of phase on accident. I mean, is that something that you would do with an artist guitar? I mean, to screw that kind of thing up is just really a weird thing to screw up. And it kind of signifies that I don't think Gibson really seems to care all that much anymore.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, fuck it. Yes, that's your answer. That's your answer to everything.
And I think Bill Kelliher has figured that out too. So he's going to ESP. You guys will recall a couple of videos ago where I dug a Gibson Les Paul Gold Top out of the dumpster at my local guitar center. Ooh, I found a Gibson. Everybody go to the dumpsters. That's because Gibson tells them to break them and throw them away if there's something about them, some little scratch or some little inventory problem. Rather than sending that guitar back to Gibson and paying for the shipping for return, they actually just tell them to destroy it in the field, throw it in a dumpster, and be done with it instead, where they could be doing things like outreach for communities, Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. All kinds of stuff they could do with that shit, but they just tell them to throw it away. But they just don't care. They obviously do not care.
I don't care. I don't care.
And it's really sad because Gibson is one of those seminal guitar companies started in the 1890s. So they've been around for what, 130 years or something. It would just be really sad to see them go under, and because of stupidity. I mean, they came real close in the 70s too, and the early 80s to completely going under. And this Juskovitz guy and the investors stepped in, but apparently he has forgotten what it's all about. I don't think he has any passion for it anymore. It seems to me like being the head of Gibson is just a feather in his cap rather than something he has actual passion for. So it looks like Bill Kelliher has grown to understand that, and he, like others before him, James Hetfield and others, have gone to ESP instead. And I can't say I blame him. As a manager of a music store a few years back, I saw how Gibson treats, prospective dealers. They are just very demanding of what you have to buy to even become a dealer for Gibson. They basically don't want to even mess with the small guy. Like the small mom and pop shops who could provide excellent service, who could, you know, actually know what they're doing on setting up the guitars when they come in. And, you know, while they might not sell as many guitars as a big box store like Sam Ash or Guitar Center or, you know, whatever, Sweetwater, they still have something to offer. I don't think Gibson really gives a damn. They don't want to bother with them. I think they've lost all passion for guitar. And, you know, if you've lost passion for something and you're just doing it for the money, get the hell out of the way. Just sell it and go find something else to do. Life is too short. Sell the company and get the hell out of the way. You know, I mean, let somebody step in there who has some passion, some balls, who wants to reinvigorate things, you know, who wants to make every catalog in every successive year better than the last, and not just a repeat of the same old tired bullshit models that you've been coming out with since the 1950s. It's time for Gibson to do something. Do something about this before they go completely under. Anyway, end of rant, end of Shitpost Friday. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I've got an awesome video coming up. I've been spending way too much time on, really, about the history of guitar straps. I've got a relatively large collection, I suppose, of guitar straps, vintage ones, and we will go through those and talk about the entire history of guitar straps. So that should be exciting. Stay tuned for that. For now, you guys take care.